Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are going to unbox and make a necklace using the Jesse James Ice Cream Mini Mix in Root Beer Float. So our encouraging word for today is take time to make your soul happy. So I hear a lot of people say beading is what they do to make their soul happy. So take some time today and make this necklace with me. So we're going to unbox. This is ice cream mini mixes, and they have all different ones, and they are all really cute. This is root beer float. So let's see what is in root beer float. First off, I noticed some cage beads, really pretty cage beads. There they are. And then I'm going to just set them up here as we do this. We've got some really gorgeous drops. There they are. We have some smaller drops, so you can see the size comparison there. And there those are. We have, these look like wood, but I believe they're acrylic. Yeah, some little acrylic beads. They're kind of cool though. They've got like a transparent stripe through them. Really pretty. Okay, we've got some frosted glass in a larger size and in a smaller, oh, actually the smaller size is the mermaid glass. Okay, I see that. Wow. You can see there, and then some frosted glass. So really pretty. We have a couple of sparkly ovals. We've got some matte rondelles in a kind of a chocolatey color. We've got some pretty flower bead caps here. There's a couple of them. We have a lot of metal beads and some rhinestone metal beads. I love the rhinestone beads. They give such a sparkle to everything. We've got these cute, cute little hearts. And these are drilled interesting. They're drilled through the sides here, not straight down. So we're going to use them in the necklace that we make today. There we go. We have these smaller, really deep chocolatey colored rondelles. These are really pretty. Whoop. They love to jump off my hands. We've got some potato chip beads, metal ones here. There they are. There's another one. And then we have these tiny little cubes. Look at these little cubes. Oh, there's another heart. Let me separate these out. We've got some tiny little cubes and then these longer, like a rectangle. So here's the little cubes. Those are so cute. They're so tiny. And then these longer rectangle beads. And then a bunch of sparkly rhinestone rondelles, which I love these spacers. Okay, so I have an idea. We're going to be using all of these. We're going to be using the hearts. We're going to be using the potato chips and the rhinestone rondelles. All of these guys. These. Two of the cage beads. All the mermaid beads. I think we're going to use these guys as well. And possibly these. And everything else, I think we're going to save for another project. So I believe this is what I'm going to be using in this necklace. Now we may pull some of these out. We'll see. I don't know. We may use a couple of these darker ones with these two bead caps, possibly. But we're going to put the rest of these back. And I'll show you what else you're going to need. So we're going to need some eye pins. Now I've pulled out my shorter eye pins because we're going to be putting these guys on eye pins, and they're going to be a lot of little different ones hooked together. We're not going to be putting them on a big long eye pin. So if you have short eye pins, this is perfect for this. You're going to need some small jump rings. These are little, I'd say they're 3mm, they're tiny. We're going to be using this heart chain in gunmetal. from Jesse James Beads. Look at this. Isn't this cute? Really cute. You're going to need a toggle, a couple of jump rings for your toggle, and you're going to need 2 wire guards and 2 crimp tubes. These are 2x2 crimp tubes, 5mm wire guards, and I'm using gunmetal. And then a length of bead stringing chain or wire, and this is 7-strand bead stringing wire. And your tools, and I think that covers it. If I'm forgetting anything, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a bunch of little dangles out of these beads I've got down here. I'm just trying to move everything else off screen because my camera, I think I've scratched my camera lens because it has trouble focusing lately. And if there's other things on the screen, it really has trouble. So I'm going to help it out here. Move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay. You're going to need your eye pins and these beads. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be stringing on our tiger tail up here, or our bead stringing wire up here. And we are going to create a little dangly bunch of goodness down here. So, you know, I'm just going to lay these out in a way that I think that they'll look really cute. Now, I'm going to call this the Falling Hearts necklace because we're going to be using these little hearts sideways like this. They're going to look like they're kind of falling down. Okay, so let's see here. Let's do a cube, this guy, another cube. I don't want to make them even. I want them to be, you know, kind of zigzagged on here, the little hearts. We'll go with a cube up here and a heart. And I'm just going to kind of lay this out and we'll just see how it looks. If it looks crazy, we can rearrange it. But okay, and I'm going to do the cubes on the top of each one. And I might just repeat that pattern back that I've got over there. Let's see here. So we'll do this guy here. I'm probably going to make some of them point one way and some of them point the other way, just for the fun of it. I've got a cube down here. This one we have 2 cubes, a heart, this guy. Hi, Sadie. Sadie just came in. She's panting. Chris had her outside. He takes the motorcycle out and she runs beside it, sort of. And she gets very tired. But he'll go down the street like really slow and she runs beside him. She thinks it's so much fun. Okay, I'm going to do 2 of these long ones. And I don't want to put him right beside him. I might do it this way. Yeah, that's kind of cute. Okay, and same thing over here. A long one. Put our heart this way. And another long one. Okay, so I think that's good. That leaves me 1 cube, which I think I'm going to put on the bottom of here just to give it a little bit of closure. And what have I got going on here? This doesn't match that. Oh yeah, okay, so that goes there. That goes there. Okay, I think we're going to go with that. So we're going to set this guy aside because he's extra. And then we're just going to make these links with our eye pins. So what I want to do here is I do not want to make any of the links very long. I want them all to be short because I want it to kind of look like chain hanging down. So that's why I pulled out my small eye pins. So I'm going to take the 2 cubes, put them on. I'm debating whether I want to use these rondelles in here too. Do I want to do a cube, a rondelle, and a cube? I really like the sparkle that gives. I don't want to do too much of it. I could do one there. I could do this one. It does add like a cute little sparkle element though. I think I'll just do these 3. Okay, so I'm going to do this one like this. So to make this loop. We're just going to bend this 90 degrees. We're going to trim this off, and I do save my cuttings, these little trimmings, because you can use them later to make other things. You can flatten the ends of them and make head pins. You can, you know, I save all of them. Okay, and we want to make sure when you create this loop that you close it up really good. So there's that one. Then I'm going to put the heart on one by itself. Just like this. I've got glue on my round nose pliers, I think. So the heart's going to go on one by itself, and then this last little component down here with the, oh, but you know what? We need head pins for that, don't we? Not eye pins. What am I thinking? Okay, I'm going to pull out some head pins. Probably going to use ball head pins for this. Just because I like the little added ball on the bottom. It's just a little decorative element. So yeah, we'll use ball pins for this. In order to use ball head pins, you have to make a wrapped loop. So I'll show you how to do that. You take it, you bend it 90 degrees like that. Then you take your round nose pliers and you come up and over, rotate your plier up and come under. So you've made a little loop. Then you're going to grab that with your chain nose pliers and just wrap. And you can wrap it as many times or as few times as you like. So I'm just going to go around a few times to secure it, make sure that it's not going to come undone. Trim that off, and then if you have a little bit sticking out, you can just tuck it right in there, and you have your little wrapped loop. Yeah, I think that's going to look cute. Okay, so what did I have here? I had this guy, and this guy. So here I'm going to do the same thing, and I know it seems like that we're wasting a lot of eye pins by doing it this way. I get that, but I really want it to have a chain look. You know, I don't want it to look just like they're all stuck on a straight eye pin, because I want them to be fluid and move. And if they're all on one eye pin, they're just going to be straight. So I'm really going for the fact that it has movement and is kind of like we've created chain here. So I don't know how many eye pins we're going to use, but like I said, save your trimmings and you can use them later. I always do, so it's not like that we're really wasting a lot of them, but it does seem like we're using a lot of eye pins. I get that, but it's just the look that I'm going for here. It's requiring eye pins in this project. Okay, so there we have that one. Then this guy down here will be a ball head pin dude. We'll stick it right on there. I really need to get that glue off these round nose pliers. It's bothering me. And I'm just going to wrap. Okay. Trim it up here. There we go. So there's another one. So we're just going to continue the whole way making these little links. I'm going to go ahead and do this one, and then these are 3 will be done just like those. So we'll go back the other way here in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to do this. How did I end up with 2 cubes here? That one doesn't have 2 cubes. Why did this one have 2 cubes? It shouldn't. Okay, so I guess I had an extra cube. Okay, so this one, I'm going to go ahead and do this one and this one on the same, like this. Roll this back, just like that. And we're going to put the heart on its own eye pin. Okay, I keep looking at that like there's an extra cube again. Okay. All right, and roll this loop back. And then the little cube is just going to go on its own little ball head pin. And we're going to be hooking all these chains together with jump rings. So I'm not going to hook the chain links to each other. I'm going to hook them to jump rings. So again, it gives it more of a fluid kind of movement situation. Okay, so there's our first three. We're going to do these last three just like we did these. So I'm going to do the middle one with you, and then I'll leave you to do the last ones while I do the last ones too. So on this one, I think I'm going to put the heart and the little one, the little cube. Okay, so that one. Then we'll do this guy by himself. See, I had some really tiny eye pins, a few of them. That one probably won't even work for that. It's too little. And I thought I might as well just use them in this. Okay, so there we go. Then we're going to do the next little component here, the cube, the rondelle, and the cube, like that. Okay. And then lastly, we'll do our little heart and cube on the bottom. Oh, I did not need to do that on an eye pen, did I? Nope. Let me take that off. Sorry, guys. I just wasn't even thinking. It needs to go in my head pin. I got a little distracted. I was thinking of root beer float, actually, which is what this is named for. I was like, you know, that sounds really good. How many of you all, do you like root beer floats? Because I do. I like root beer. I don't like a lot of colas. I don't like Coke. I don't like Pepsi. I know it's awful. I think they taste terrible. And everybody else is like, you're so messed up. But I don't. I don't like them. I never have. I like root beer and Sprite. And sometimes Dr. Pepper. That's pretty much it for soda. Now, every now and then, if I'm like super thirsty, I will drink like an orange one or grape or strawberry or one of those flavored ones, but for the most part, no. But I do like root beer. Okay. All right, so there's the middle one. Okay, so we're going to go back the other way and do these just like we did these three, and come on back. Okay, so I needed to point out one thing in putting this together, or doing this here. I remember when I was like, oh, there's an extra cube. It wasn't extra. It's supposed to go right here between this one and this one. And I didn't realize that at first. So yeah, but it's supposed to go right here, because otherwise this one's not going to be long enough and it's going to look weird. So take your extra cube that I put out and put it back in. We need it. So I'm almost done with this right here. I'm Just realized that when I was doing this row, I was like, oh yeah, there's where that extra cube was supposed to go. Okay, so let's put the heart on here. And I'll go back over here in just a second what we should have on each little one hanging down. I'll tell you what's on each one. And then last but not least, we're going to do this little cube down here with a wrapped loop. Okay. All right, so let's go back over what is on each strand hanging down. So on the first one, we have a cube, a rondelle spacer, and a cube on one eye pin, a heart on an eye pin, and on the head pin on the bottom, we have a cube and a rectangle bead. Okay, on the second row, we have a rectangle bead on an eye pin, a heart on an eye pin, and a rectangle bead on a ball head pin. On the third row, we have a cube and a rectangle on an eye pin. We have a cube alone on an eye pin, a heart alone on an eye pin, and a little cube on a ball head pin. The middle row, we have a cube and a heart on an eye pin, a rectangle on an eye pin, a cube, a rondelle spacer, and a cube on an eye pin, and a cube and a heart on a ball head pin. And then of course this side just repeats this side. Same exact thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our little jump rings. I've got these little 3mm, I believe they're 3mm jump rings. And we're going to hook all of these together. So let me get these little cuttings out of the way from my head pins and eye pins. Okay, so we're going to hook all these together. And these are so tiny, but they're really good for something like this where you don't want, you know, big jump rings because you're making tiny little links hooked together. So I'm not putting any on the very top, the eye pin. I'm just going to leave it like it is, and we'll go ahead and hook everything else together in the row that it's in. So, and it doesn't really matter which way the hearts go because they're probably going to flip and flop a little bit anyway because they can turn on these eye pins. So here's my first row, just hooking all those together. And you know what? I am going to put one on the top because we're going to be stringing on here too. So yeah, I am going to go ahead and put one on the top so I can hang it down from that. Okay. So go ahead and put your little, hook all your links together with your little head pins and put one on the top of each strand as well, and then come on back. Okay, now I wanted to mention really quick, I had this heart up at the top, but I decided to switch this and put the little rectangle bead first and then the heart in the cube. So just because it made these look better, with this up here, it was like a weird gap here. So I went ahead and switched those two. So I just wanted to point that out. So go ahead and finish hooking them together and come on back. Okay, so here we are. We've got all our little dangles on, and now we're going to go ahead and we're going to string this how we want it. So I know right now that I want all these mermaid beads to be right here in the middle with my little, where'd they go, rondelle spacers in between them. That much I know. That's really all I figured out as far as the stringing goes. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see how this works with these pieces. So let's go ahead and string a rhinestone rondelle, a mermaid bead, and then our little dangly, another rhinestone rondelle. I don't know if I'm going to have enough. We'll have to see. A mermaid bead. rhinestone rondelle, and this one. And this is kind of design with me. I'm just figuring this out as I go. So we may change some things up, I'm not sure. Rhinestone rondelle, mermaid bead. Yeah, I'm not gonna have enough of these little rondelles to do this whole thing, I don't think. So, and I really don't want those that far apart anyway. So let's take that back off. So that's not working out. And I don't know if it's the mermaid beads are too big, or let's try something different. Let's do this. And let's try using the little these little rondelles and string it and see if it strings any better that way with them closer together. I don't want these to be real far apart. That's, I think, better. Maybe I just need the mermaid bead without. Let's try that. So I'm going to try these different things and see which one that I like best. So, let's see, mermaid bead. I don't know if I have enough to go between each one of these either. I think I do. If I don't, yeah, if I don't put one on the outside. Okay, so let's try this and see if this is any better. So let's do it. Think of what I'm doing here. Okay. So let's try this. Let's do the dangle, the mermaid bead, without the rondelles in there, though I really kind of wanted to put those in there, but we'll fit them in somewhere. Mermaid bead, dangle. I'm gonna get this on here and see if I like the way it looks. And see, I don't like them being that far apart. I really want them closer together. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this. We're going to have to use these guys and then fit the mermaid beads in somewhere else along the way, because it's not working out like I want it to with the others. So what have I done here? Where's my... Now I've got my things mixed up. Okay, so this one should be over here. Is that right? No. You know what though? Well, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so here we go. Again, let's try this. The rondelle. This one. I do like them closer together. Then, you know, that looks better. The rondelle. This one. Rondelle. This guy. Rondelle. We'll see how this looks. I hope it looks good. Okay. Yeah, I really do like it closer together. I feel like it just, as the focal, it needs that. Okay, so I'm going to put a rondelle on each one then, on each side. And now I'm going to get my rhinestone spacers in here. At least a couple of them. Okay, and somebody just knocked on the door. Okay, mermaid bead, another spacer, mermaid bead, another spacer. Yeah, I do like that better. That They just need to be close. If they're too far apart, they look funny. It looks more like a unit. Okay. Let's do one of these little acrylic beads here. Another spacer on each side. And then I think I'm going to try to work in one of these on each one. Okay, that looks good. Do I want to do, yeah, I do. I want to do these two. Okay, and then I think I will do these two. And then we're going to go back to spacer, mermaid bead, spacer, mermaid bead. Forgot about these guys. We got to get these in here. These are so pretty. So we'll put one of these next on each side. Okay, and then let's do an acrylic bead again. Now, that's looking pretty good. I think I will do a mermaid bead. Another one of these little sparkly guys. I have my potato chip beads up here too. I keep forgetting them as well. Let's see. I might pull these in. I could do those, and I could do these. I could do these. I think what I want to do. Okay, I might do a potato chip upside down. Oops. A potato chip upside down, a potato chip the other way. See how that gives a little dimension there. And then we're going to put this guy on. And I have to see how he's going to lay though, because if he's, yeah, he's wanting to twist in that potato chip bead. Actually, I think that'll be okay though. And then I'm going to do a potato chip down and a potato chip up on the other. Yeah, this is looking pretty. Okay, potato chip down, potato chip up, oval bead, and then potato chip down and potato chip up. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, now I'm debating. I kind of want to use these. I kind of want to do the cage beads next. They look really cool on there. But I also kind of want to do these with the bead caps. Let me look at this really quickly. So if I would put this bead cap facing up and do this bead facing down, that's pretty cool. How does it look if I do the bead with the big end in there? That doesn't fit as well. So I'm going to face this. So I'm going to do the bead cap and then do this drop bead inside of it like that. And I'm going to do the same on this other side. So the bead cap. Oops, bead cap just like this. Drop bead facing down. That looks really cute. Okay, now we've got our cage beads, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use anything else, I don't think, from the mix. I think this looks pretty good right here. I'm going to go ahead and crimp onto my cage bead here, okay? So I'm going to use my crimp tube and my wire guardian. And you know what? I was thinking I was going to crimp onto this chain, but since I'm going to crimp onto this cage bead, I'm going to use silver instead of the gunmetal, because that's going to just look better crimping it right onto that cage bead, because I was planning to crimp onto the chain, which would have been gunmetal and it would have looked fine. But I think since we're doing this, I'm going to switch it up. So same thing, 2x2 crimp tubes and 5mm wire guards, just in silver instead of gunmetal. Okay, so here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my crimp tube, put it right on here, and then I'm going up one side of the wire guard, down through the other channel here, okay, just like that. Then I'm going to take my cage bead, and I'm going to find one of the points, like right in here, and I'm just going to go right onto the cage bead with my wire guard, I think. Now this may not work. Let's look and see. Okay, actually it does work. And then I'm going to go right back through my crimp tube with my tail. Actually, I'm going to pull that up just a little, make sure I have enough room on the other side. Okay, right back through with my tail. I like to take these wire guards and bend them in a little, which may be kind of hard to do with it around this cage bead, but maybe not. We'll see. Let me grab my crimpers. Yep, okay. And then I like to pull up here, make sure my wires are not crossed. I always try to make sure the wires aren't crossed, because if they're crossed, they're not going to go down into their each little channel. And sometimes I even pull them apart like this. Crimp it down. And when you do, it creates the little divot in the middle, and both wires go in their own little channel. Then you turn this sideways, it's vertically, and in one of the little divots there, you just close it up. I usually use the second one. It seems to fit these crimp tubes really well. And there it is. Okay, so I'm going to pull all this up, take my wire through my first few beads, make sure there's no extra wire or chain showing anywhere, but you don't want to press this down real hard, because you don't want it to look like a poker sticking out. You want it just to relax and have some movement. So I just kind of let gravity do it, but I do make sure that this is up all the way, so no tails hanging out or anything like that. Same thing, up and over with our wire guard. Whoops. Okay, and then I'm just going to do the same thing I did there. I'm going to find one of the points here on this cage bead and just put it right in there. Okay, and then go right back down through my crimp tube and a couple of the beads. And I usually just push it down in there, and wherever it comes out, that's where I pull it. Okay, I'm going to bend this wire guard in. Maybe. Does not want to cooperate. There we go. Okay, pull this tight now. You don't want anything showing like your wire, but like I said, you want to be sure that you don't have any extra. You don't want it loose. You don't want it flop, like beads flopping, but you don't want it poker straight either. There's a fine balance there. You just got to find it. Crimp down. Turn this 90 degrees. Cage beads being very difficult. And close it right up. There we go. Okay, so we have successfully crimped it now. Crimping's always like, you know, one of those things where you kind of hold your breath and hope for the stars and the moon to align. Okay, there we go. All right, so there we have it. There's what we got so far. Now, with this kind of a necklace, I don't want this to be super long on me. And I know that necklaces that hang right around my collarbone, which is kind of where I want this one to be, because you want this to, you know, lay up on you and kind of show. I like those necklaces to be between 21 and 23 inches. So what I want to do here is I want to lay this down. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure. So down to the tip of this guy is about 7.5 inches. Okay, so 7.5 inches. So if my whole necklace is 23 inches, and I've already got, this would be 15, so I need 8 more inches. So I need about 4 inches of chain on each side. Okay, so I'm going to go 5 to be safe because we are using a toggle here and not going to do like a not going to do an extender or anything like that. So we'll go 5 inches on each side. Isn't this heart chain super cute? And I thought it was really cute with these hearts here. I actually had a different chain pulled out, but when I saw this one, I was like, oh, that's got to go with this necklace. It just fits too well. Okay, so there's one. And then I'm just going to take this and on my plier here and make sure that I cut them the same. Okay, so right here. All right, so that's my 4 inches per side. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take a jump ring. Now I do need a gunmetal jump ring for this probably. These are teeny. I think that'll work though. Actually, these are black, not gunmetal, but it'll work just fine. And I'm going to hook it right on here on the point of this, the cage bead. So I'm just gonna, and you want to make sure that this gets closed up really good, this jump ring. So going right on our heart and right here through the point of the cage bead. Just like this. Almost had it there. Almost got it in one try. But no. Oh shoot. Okay, I may need a bigger jump ring, but I really want to try to do it with the small one. I like the way small jump rings look in projects a little bit bigger than the big ones, unless you're going for like a big ring somewhere. Okay, there we go. We got it now. Just takes some coordination that I don't always have. Okay, it's closed up good. Look how cute. That heart chain is so cute. And then we'll go with this other one. Even with the precision tools that I have, I still don't have very good fine motor skills. Okay, and let's look at this one. If he sits straight up like that, then we need to go right through here. And I know it will work because I just did it on the other one. Why are you being difficult? Well, I guess it's a little wider at that point. Let me try to go through it this way. Yeah, that's it. It was a little wider. I was trying to go through the other way. There's 2 ways you can do it. One it's a little thinner and one it's a little wider, and I was trying to go through the wide one. There we go. Okay. So there it is. Let's put our little clasp on. Just got a couple jump rings here and a cute little toggle. little toggle bar on. See, these jump rings, I pulled these out, but I should have pulled out a smaller one. I just like the small jump rings a little bit better, but it'll be all right. And our toggle ring. All right, and there we have it. So just a minute, and I may actually put this one on since I'm fairly decent looking today. So just a minute. Okay, so here it is. I like it. It hangs really cute. Let's see if I can get up close a little bit better. There it is. It would hang better if I had a shirt that didn't have like pleats and stuff in the front of it, but if I had just had something smooth on. But I do like it. I think it's super cute, and I love the little falling hearts here. So check out Jessie James Mermaid, goodness, ice cream mix in root beer float. I'll have links in the description box for everything. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like it and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.